For those of you who watched my last video, if you haven't, you should check that out. But I mean, you won't be confused. Actually, you will. But basically, I just wanted to say, I just wanted to tell like a little, like a sequel, I guess, to my last video. Something that happened afterwards, after I was already like at home and everything, it was like really sketchy. And it was just funny. It was just a funny story because it was really weird. Like it just made no sense. But yeah, I just want to say like quick little story time right now. Basically, when I got back home, well, first off, there's a couple little things that like happened and actually still happen. So the first thing, well, like when I got back home, I slept with my parents, like right next to my mom. I don't even remember why, but I did. And she was telling me this story basically about, she was like giving me a lecture about drugs and stuff. And while she was doing it, she was whispering because my dad was like sleeping right next to us and she didn't want to wake him. And so she was like whispering, right? And like I was hearing her whisper and I was scared as fuck. I just didn't say anything because it was dark, like it was pitch black, and I was like scared of the dark because of what happened. I was kind of like traumatized or whatever. Not actually, not anymore, but it was just like for a little brief moment. And like while she was whispering and shit, I heard like a second layer to a whisper, but I didn't hear anything specific. It was just like psh, like over her voice, and I was freaking the fuck out, but I just didn't say anything because I don't want to get sent back to a psych. So yeah, I didn't say anything. And then like after that, more little things that happened was just like I would just see shadow people every now and then and like hear like a bird singing or whatever. And but like what actually happened that actually made me want to tell this story is, so like I think this was like 2 days afterwards. I hadn't gone to sleep yet. It was like 4 a.m. and I was watching Grey's Anatomy the whole time. And basically what happened was like I just got tired and I was like, okay, I need to go to sleep. And I go to sleep by listening to scary stories, like horror stories or whatever. I know I'm weird, but yeah. And so I was like, okay, like I'm gonna do that. And my head was hurting a lot and I was like feeling a little bit nauseous. Like I had like a really weird heart pains and like stomach pains, I just had like everything ache. And so I was like, fuck, like I need to go to sleep. And so I tried like listening to the voice of, you know, the narrator of the story time, and I was just trying to fall asleep to that. But then I can't focus on the voice. Like I keep getting like distracted by, I don't even know what. I just can't focus. I'm focusing too much on the pain because the pain is taking up all my thoughts, and I'm not even having thoughts though. It was weird. And like all of a sudden I fucking forget what the fuck, I just forget everything. Like I forget why I'm like in this bed, why everything is dark, why I hear this voice telling me things, like just speaking. And I'm like, I freak out and I'm like, yo, like what the fuck? And I just like get up and I'm like so disoriented. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm just so confused. And then I remind myself, or I don't even remind myself, I just remember that I'm who I am and that I just feel weird right now. And so I'm like, okay, fuck, like that was sketchy. So I like go back to sleep, or try to. And then I'm listening, I'm trying to focus on the words again to just fall asleep. And then an ad plays. And while this ad plays, I forget again. I'm like, what? I freak the fuck out because I'm like, what the fuck? Where's this voice coming from? And then I'm trying to figure out the source of the voice. And then I remembered that it was my phone, like it was an ad, and I was like, oh fuck, like shit. And then so I try to go back to sleep once again, and then now I'm freaking out because I start thinking for some reason that I was basically in psychosis. Like it was fucking weird. I was definitely in a psychosis, like a really short-term psychosis, but I thought that I had like a brain tumor or something. And so I was like having like an anxiety attack, and I was freaking the fuck out. And then I remembered that my brain basically mixed up what I watched, which was Grey's Anatomy, like the show, with my real life. So I just remembered Derek Shepherd, which is a doctor on Grey's Anatomy, telling me that I had just had brain surgery and that for the rest of the day I was gonna feel hazy and like kind of weird. So like, don't freak out too much. Like, it's normal. It's part of the healing process. And then I was like, oh, like I remembered that, and then I was like, oh shit, like I'm chilling, and I laid back down, and then I remember, what the fuck? That never fucking happened. And like, what the fuck am I thinking right now? And then that was the last time I had that. The pain slowly faded away, like my headache and my heartache and my stomach ache. It all just faded with time, and I just like got back to normal. But it was weird. And then a couple days after that, every time I fall asleep, I was like terrified of falling asleep because I thought I was gonna die in my sleep. So like every time I'd get like close to falling asleep, like I was like half awake, I'd like, my heart would just fucking explode out of my chest, and I'd like freak the fuck out, and I just couldn't sleep for like a couple days because of that. But yeah, those are just little things that happen afterwards. I had like really bad earaches because it's poisonous to your body, obviously, Benadryl. My eyes, I think they're still like a little bit more blurry than they were before. I see fine, but it's just like sometimes it's just like more blurry than it's supposed to be, like than I remember before. I don't know, but whatever. Those are just a little things that happen after the fact. And also, I can still like make another story time talking about like shit that happened at the psych, even though I wasn't actually in the psych. I was in the waiting room, and there's like a couple kids you know, that were going home too, and like crazy shit happened. But whatever, yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and tell that little story time. But yeah, peace out.